When a woman is truly attracted to you, she won't always say it in words, but her energy will tell you everything. You just need to know how to read the signs. When a woman is truly attracted to you, something subtle but powerful begins to shift in her behavior. Her attention becomes effortless. You no longer have to fight for her time, her energy, or her focus because she gives it to you naturally, almost unconsciously. This isn't about her making a calculated decision to show interest. It's about emotional gravity. Just like how the earth pulls everything toward its center, genuine attraction pulls her attention toward you without her even realizing it. You'll notice that her eyes find you even when she's surrounded by others, that her energy lifts when you speak, and that she somehow always seems to notice the smallest things about you, your tone, your mood, your silence. It's as if her awareness becomes tuned to your frequency. This is the kind of attention that doesn't demand words. It reveals itself through presence. You might catch her remembering small details from conversations that you don't even recall mentioning, something you said casually days ago, or the way you prefer your coffee. She pays attention not because she's trying to impress you, but because something inside her wants to understand you deeply. Her curiosity becomes personal. She listens not only to what you say, but also to what you don't say. The pauses between your sentences, the emotions behind your words, all of it begins to matter to her. She starts picking up on your habits, your patterns, your preferences. This kind of attention is effortless because it's emotionally charged. It's not driven by obligation or politeness, but by an inner connection she can't quite explain. You can feel it when she looks at you with that quiet focus, as though the rest of the world fades for a moment. When a woman's attention becomes effortless, it also changes the rhythm of your interaction. She no longer appears distracted or distant when she's with you. Instead, she's fully present, mentally, emotionally, and energetically. In a world where everyone is glued to their phones, her full presence becomes the loudest form of affection. You'll see it in the way she puts her phone away when you talk, how her body subtly leans toward you, how she listens with genuine interest. Her focus is not just on your words, but on the experience of being around you. She becomes attuned to your emotional cues when you're happy, tired, or withdrawn. Without you having to explain yourself, she somehow knows when to comfort you, when to tease, when to give you space. This emotional intelligence is part of what makes a woman's effortless attention so magnetic. It's rooted in empathy and deep emotional awareness. You may also notice how she begins to prioritize you in small but meaningful ways. Maybe she rearranges her schedule to meet you, responds to your messages faster than usual, or goes out of her way to be available when you need her. None of this feels forced. It's all organic. Her attention becomes a reflection of her emotional investment. Even when she's busy, she finds a way to stay connected. A short message, a thoughtful gesture, a subtle check-in. This kind of consistency reveals more than grand expressions ever could. It shows that you occupy space in her thoughts even when you're not around. She doesn't have to remind herself to think about you. She just does. Effortless attention is one of the most powerful signs of genuine attraction because it cannot be faked for long. It shows in her energy, her responsiveness, and the emotional space she reserves for you. You'll feel that she's not just present physically, but emotionally aligned with you. She might look at you longer than necessary, laugh more easily around you, or unconsciously find comfort in your presence. These are not rehearsed behaviors. They are natural reactions of someone who feels drawn to you on a deeper level. It's the kind of attention that makes you feel seen, not just looked at, heard, not just listened to. When a woman is truly attracted to you, one of the most fascinating psychological patterns begins to emerge. She starts to mirror you. This isn't something she plans or even notices consciously. It's an automatic, subconscious reflection of the emotional connection she feels toward you. Her body, tone, expressions, and even small gestures begin to synchronize with yours. This phenomenon, often called mirroring behavior in psychology, is a deep indicator of emotional rapport and attraction. It happens when someone feels aligned, safe, and connected with another person at a level beyond logic. You might notice her leaning in when you do, crossing her legs when you cross yours, or smiling right after you smile. These are not coincidences. They are subtle reflections of comfort, trust, and an unspoken desire to bond with you. Her subconscious mind is signaling, "I feel what you feel." This kind of mirroring often begins with body language. When you sit back and relax, she unconsciously mirrors that openness. When you lean forward to emphasize a point, she does too. If you gesture with your hands while talking, her hands start to move in a similar rhythm. It's as though her body starts speaking the same nonverbal language as yours. You'll notice this most clearly when she's deeply engaged. Her facial expressions might mirror your mood. If you speak softly, she lowers her tone. If you speak with excitement, her voice lifts in sync with yours. These changes are not deliberate. They are instinctive responses to emotional alignment. Human psychology is built this way. When we feel a strong bond or attraction, our mirror neurons activate, causing us to imitate the other person's movements and emotional cues to strengthen connection. It's nature's way of saying we belong on the same wavelength. But mirroring goes beyond physical gestures. It extends into emotions, speech patterns, and energy. A woman who's drawn to you will begin to adopt similar expressions, phrases, or even the rhythm of your speech. If you use certain words frequently or have a specific way of describing things, she may start picking up on it unconsciously. You might hear her using your slang, your humor, or even mirroring your emotional responses to situations. If you get passionate about something, she becomes animated too. If you become thoughtful, her tone softens to match that energy. This shared emotional rhythm deepens your connection because it builds a sense of familiarity. It feels like you understand each other without effort. That's what mirroring does. It makes two people feel emotionally synchronized, creating a powerful sense of belonging. You'll also notice mirroring in how she matches your pace, not just in words, but in actions. When you walk, she might adjust her stride to align with yours. When you pause during a conversation, she waits too, maintaining that same rhythm. Even her texting patterns may unconsciously start to mirror yours. How long she takes to reply, the emojis she uses, the tone of her messages. All of these subtle alignments are signs that her energy is syncing with yours. It's her subconscious way of staying connected, of saying without words, "I'm with you." This kind of harmony cannot be forced. It arises naturally from genuine attraction and emotional comfort. A woman only mirrors a man when she feels emotionally safe in his presence and drawn to his energy. Her mind and body adapt to reflect that connection, not because she wants to imitate him, but because on a deeper level, she's aligning herself with him. When a woman is completely attracted to you, she starts finding reasons, sometimes small, sometimes cleverly disguised, to be around you. This isn't about manipulation or strategy. It's about emotional pull. Her attraction creates a kind of magnetic field that draws her closer to you, even when she tries to appear casual or indifferent. You'll notice she begins to appear in places she never used to, or suddenly shares interests she never mentioned before. Maybe she starts joining the same social circles, attending the same events, or showing up at the same coffee shop where you usually go. These coincidences are rarely random. They are small, intentional efforts made by her subconscious subconscious mind to create proximity. She wants to be near your energy, to feel your presence, and to share moments that seem accidental but are, in reality, deeply deliberate. This need for proximity often starts subtly. She may ask mutual friends about you or find ways to bring you up in conversations. You might notice her commenting more often on your posts, reacting to your stories, or engaging with things connected to you, as though she's quietly stepping closer into your world. When she finds out something about your routine, she might align hers in small ways that make meeting you more likely. For instance, if she knows you go for a walk in the evening, she might start showing up around that time too, casually greeting you as if it just happened by chance. These little moments are her way of keeping the connection alive without appearing too forward. She doesn't want to risk rejection by being obvious, so she hides her intentions beneath what looks like coincidence. You'll also see this behavior in her communication patterns. A woman who's attracted to you doesn't just respond, she initiates. She'll message you first, sometimes under the pretext of something harmless, like asking for help, advice, or sharing a random thought. But behind that simplicity is an emotional motive. She wants a reason to talk to you, to hear your voice, to feel connected. She might send you a funny meme, ask about something you mentioned days ago, or bring up topics that keep the conversation going. Each message, each question, is a bridge she's building to stay close. Even when the conversation ends, she'll find ways to restart it. A follow-up message, a by the way text, a little continuation that keeps your attention tied to her. It's her way of creating continuity, of ensuring that your presence doesn't fade into the background. In real-life interactions, this attraction-driven behavior becomes even more visible. She'll linger longer than necessary after a conversation, offer to help you with something small, or suddenly take an interest in things you're passionate about. If you mention you love a certain book, she might read it. If you talk about a restaurant, she might visit it and tell you later. Her efforts are subtle but meaningful. They reveal her growing investment in shared experiences. She's not trying to change her life completely for you, but she's weaving small pieces of yours into hers. It's her way of feeling closer, of making your world and hers overlap just a little more each time. You'll sense this when she laughs at your jokes a bit too easily, when she notices small details about you that others miss, or when she volunteers to be part of anything that keeps her in your orbit. This is the quiet language of attraction, a woman finding reasons to stay close, not because she has to, but because she genuinely wants to. When a woman is deeply attracted to you, her emotional energy shifts in ways that are almost impossible for her to hide. It's not just in her words, but in her tone, her expressions, her body language, and the subtle changes in how she carries herself around you. You'll notice that her energy feels different, lighter, more vibrant, more alive, as though your presence brings out another version of her. Even if she's normally calm or reserved, around you she might become more expressive, playful, or animated. It's as if her emotions are amplified because attraction stirs something inside her that logic can't control. The air between you feels charged, and you sense it even in moments of silence. That invisible tension, that unspoken warmth, is the energy of attraction manifesting itself through her behavior and presence. She might not even realize she's doing it, but her entire emotional state seems to shift the moment you enter the room. If she was distracted or quiet before, her mood may suddenly lift, her posture straightens, her eyes brighten, and her attention becomes fully engaged. Her voice might take on a softer, more melodic tone when speaking to you, or she might laugh more easily, showing a side of herself that others rarely see. These are not rehearsed reactions. They are instinctive responses that happen when she feels emotionally stimulated. Attraction triggers a surge of positive energy, and she unconsciously channels that toward you. You'll feel that her vibe changes the moment your eyes meet. a spark of nervous excitement, a warmth that wasn't there seconds before. This shift in emotional energy is one of the clearest indicators that she feels something deeper than casual interest. At the same time, her emotions might become more intense and layered around you. She could appear more vulnerable, more open, or even more reactive. If you say something kind, her face lights up with genuine joy. If you tease her, she blushes or playfully reacts in a way that reveals she's emotionally invested. Attraction makes her hyper-aware of your opinion, your words, and your attention. You might notice her overthinking her responses or getting flustered when you compliment her. It's not because she's uncomfortable, it's because her emotional system is activated. Around you, she's not just thinking, she's feeling. Every glance, every word, every pause carries meaning. This heightened emotional sensitivity is a natural part of attraction, where her feelings become intertwined with how she perceives you and how you make her feel. Her emotional energy also changes in how she manages space and silence. When she's with you, even quiet moments don't feel awkward. They feel charged with connection. She may maintain longer eye contact, smile for no apparent reason, or play with her hair or jewelry as a way to release nervous energy. Sometimes she'll seem slightly restless, her hands moving, her posture shifting, as though her body can't quite contain the emotions she's feeling. These small cues reveal the internal flutter that attraction creates. And yet within that nervousness, there's also a deep sense of comfort. She feels drawn to your presence even when she's not sure what to say. That blend of excitement and calmness is what makes the emotional energy around attraction so distinct. It's not chaotic, it's magnetic. You can sense that she's fully attuned to you, that her emotions rise and fall in rhythm with the dynamic between you, that her energy transforms simply because you are there. When a woman begins to open up emotionally around you, it marks a deep shift in how she perceives you. It's no longer just about physical attraction or casual interest. It's about emotional safety, trust, and genuine connection. A woman does not share her inner world with just anyone. She does it when she feels seen, valued, and understood. You'll notice this change when her conversations with you start moving beyond the surface level. She begins to talk about her feelings, her past, her insecurities, and her dreams. She may start revealing the things that make her who she is, her vulnerabilities, her lessons, her regrets, and the moments that shaped her. This kind of openness is rare because it requires emotional courage. When she starts to open up, it's her way of saying, even without words, that she feels emotionally safe in your presence, that she trusts you with parts of herself that she usually hides from the world. At first, this emotional openness might appear in small ways. She may tell you about something that upset her during the day or confide in you about an experience that still lingers in her heart. You might notice how she starts using phrases like, "I've never told anyone this before," or "I don't usually talk about these things." These are powerful signs that she's letting you into her inner emotional space. Women are naturally intuitive and protective of their emotions. They rarely expose them unless they sense genuine care and empathy. When she opens up, she's not seeking advice or judgment. She's seeking emotional resonance. She wants to feel understood, not fixed. It's her way of testing emotional depth to see whether you can handle her truth without making her feel small for it. As her comfort with you grows, her emotional transparency deepens. She might begin to share stories about her childhood, her relationships, her fears about the future, or her aspirations that she's never voiced aloud. You'll notice a softness in her tone when she speaks, as though she's no longer trying to impress you, but to connect with you. The walls she once had up start to lower because she feels you won't use her vulnerability against her. You might find her sharing her thoughts during quiet, unguarded moments, late-night talks, reflective pauses, or spontaneous messages where she expresses gratitude or emotion without hesitation. This is the kind of connection where her emotional guard dissolves and what remains is pure authenticity. The more she opens up, the more her emotional energy intertwines with yours, creating a sense of intimacy that can't be replicated through attraction alone. You'll also begin to notice how her emotional openness changes the way she interacts with you. She becomes more expressive, more empathetic, and more invested in understanding you as well. When she opens up, it's not a one-way act. It's an invitation for you to do the same. She begins to mirror emotional depth. When she shares something heartfelt, she subtly hopes you'll meet her at that level. Her vulnerability is her way of building emotional trust, of saying, I feel safe enough to show you who I really am. Her openness may come with laughter, tears, or quiet moments of reflection, but each one of those moments carries meaning. It's her soul's way of connecting to yours, not through perfection, but through honesty. This level of openness marks the transition from attraction to emotional intimacy, where she no longer just wants your attention. She wants your understanding, your empathy, and your presence. When a woman is deeply attracted to you, one of the clearest yet most understated signs is that she begins to seek your approval, not in an obvious or desperate way, but in small, subtle, emotionally revealing gestures. It's not that she suddenly loses her independence or confidence, but rather that your opinion starts to matter to her in a way that it doesn't with others. She starts to see you as someone whose perspective carries weight, someone she wants to impress without seeming like she's trying. This can show up in many forms. Maybe she asks for your thoughts on her outfit, a decision she's making, or something she's posted online. Maybe she subtly watches your reaction after she says something funny, waiting to see if you laugh. The truth is, when a woman seeks your approval, she's not just looking for validation, she's looking for emotional confirmation that you value her, that she matters to you, and that her presence has an impact on you. You might notice her paying more attention to how she presents herself around you, not to appear perfect, but to align with what she believes you appreciate. If she knows you admire confidence, she might carry herself with more poise. If you once complimented her hairstyle or how she dresses, she may repeat that look without even realizing it. These small adjustments are her way of silently saying, I remember what you liked and I care enough to keep your attention. Even the way she communicates can shift. She might become more thoughtful with her words, more responsive to your energy, or more engaged in your interests. When you express enthusiasm about something, a goal, a hobby, a mindset, she takes notice. She may start showing interest in those same things, not because she's pretending, but because she wants to understand your world better and feel connected to the things that inspire you. Her desire for your approval also extends to how she handles disagreements or misunderstandings. If she values your opinion deeply, she won't want unnecessary conflict with you. You'll sense that she tries to explain herself more clearly to make sure you don't misunderstand her. She'll put effort into maintaining harmony between you because your perception of her matters. You might notice that she becomes a little self-conscious after saying something bold or teasing, a quick glance your way to see how you took it, a small laugh to soften her words, a shift in tone if she senses disapproval. All of these micro reactions reveal how emotionally attuned she is to your responses. Her subconscious mind begins to track your approval because attraction has linked her emotional comfort to how you see her. When she feels accepted by you, she glows. When she senses disapproval, her energy shifts, even if she tries to hide it. Sometimes her subtle search for approval shows up through curiosity. She may ask for your opinion on topics she already knows the answer to, just to understand how you think. She'll want to know what you believe, what you value, and how you view her actions within that framework. You might find her saying things like, "What do you think I should do?" or "Would you like this?" Not because she lacks confidence, but because your viewpoint gives her emotional reassurance. In group settings, she might glance at you for validation before expressing her thoughts, as though your reaction silently anchors her. These behaviors come from a place of admiration, not dependency. When a woman feels connected and emotionally invested, your approval becomes more than just validation. It becomes a mirror she uses to gauge her place in your life, to feel seen and appreciated, and to affirm the bond that is quietly forming between you.